This week I will be reading from the Disney Pixar storybook collection. The first story I will be reading will be Cars. Lightning McQueen was taking part in the biggest race of the season, the Dinoco 400. The current champion, the King, and Lightning's racing rival Chuck Hicks were also racing. This was to be the King's last race ever, which meant that the lucrative Dinoco sponsorship was up for grabs. When Lightning pulled into the pits, he filled up with petrol, but ignored his crew's advice to change tyres. He increased his lead, but it was a risky strategy. During the last lap, his back tyre blew out. Chick and the King drew level with him just as he limped across the finish line. Oh, it was too close to call. While Lightning waited for the race results, he posed for the reporters, pushing aside his pit crew. Ka-chow! I'm a one-man show. Furious, his pit crew quit on the spot. Then the announcement came, Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in the Piston Cup, we have a three-way tie. A tiebreaker race would be held in California in 1 week's time. Lightning ordered his lorry, Mack, to drive him through the night to California. He promised Mack that he would stay up with him, but he soon fell asleep. Many hours later, a gang of cars pulled alongside the exhausted lorry and began bumping him for a laugh. Mack swerved dangerously, and Lightning, still sleeping, rolled out of the trailer and onto the road. Lightning woke up among oncoming traffic. He thought he saw Mack pull off the road and he quickly followed. Unfortunately, it turned out that it wasn't Mack he had followed. Lightning was lost. Feeling panicked, Lightning tore up off the main strip of a small town, destroying everything in his path. He ended up dangling helplessly between 2 telegraph poles. Boy, you're in a heap of trouble, said the sheriff. The next morning, Lightning woke up to see a cheery tow truck grinning at him from the gates of a car pound. Hi there, my name's Mater, he said. Welcome to Radiator Springs. At that moment, the sheriff arrived to escort Lightning to court. The judge, Doc Hudson, wanted to kick Lightning out of town, but Sally, the lawyer, had a better idea. Lightning couldn't leave until he had repaired the town's damaged road. Reluctantly, Lightning set to work pulling Bessie, the enormous road surfacing machine. When he heard a radio report that Chick was already in California practicing for the tiebreaker race, he pulled Bessie as hard and as fast as he could. A couple of hours later, Lightning announced that the road was finished. But it was a total mess. Now it matches the rest of the town, sneered Lightning. Doc was furious. He decided to settle the matter with a race. If you win, you go, and I fix the road. If I win, you do the road my way, he said. Out at the dirt track, Lightning took a quick lead, but he made a mistake and on a tricky bend and wiped out. Mater hauled Lightning out of the ditch and he was sent back to work. By the next morning, Radiator Springs had a patch of beautifully surfaced road. Lightning was tired and filthy, but the townsfolk thanked him. That night, Mater took Lightning tractor tipping. Mater sneaked up on a sleeping tractor and honked. That startled tractor woke up and fell over. When it was Lightning's turn, he revved his engine so loud all the tractors keeled over at the same time. Mater and Lightning could not stop laughing. As they returned to the motel, Mater showed off his amazing backwards driving tricks. Lightning was impressed. Maybe I'll use it in my big race, Lightning said thoughtfully. When Lightning told Mater that winning the race meant getting a new sponsor with private helicopters, Mater got excited. He asked if he could ride in a helicopter someday. Lightning agreed casually. Sally overheard Lightning and Mater's conversation. "Did you mean it?" she asked. "You know, Mater trusts you." The next morning, Lightning saw 3 Piston Cups in Doc's shop. He was amazed. Doc Hudson was a racing legend. Doc was furious when he found Lightning in his shop. "All I see is a bunch of empty cups," Doc said, pushing Lightning out and slamming the door. Lightning rushed over to Flo's cafe to tell everyone that Doc was a famous race car, but no one believed him. While the other cars were laughing, Sally filled Lightning's tank. Sheriff was worried that Lightning would leave, but Sally surprised everyone, including Lightning. "I trust him," she said. "Let's go for a drive." The 2 cars zoomed up a mountain road, and Lightning realized that he was racing just for fun, for the first time. He also noticed how beautiful the scenery and Sally were. Sally told Lightning how she had been a lawyer in LA, but she hadn't been happy. One day, she just drove and drove until she reached Radiator Springs. "I fell in love with this," Sally continued. Far below lay a gorgeous valley surrounded by copper-coloured mountains. In the distance, Lightning saw cars speeding past on the interstate. "They don't even know what they're missing," he murmured. Later that day, Lightning saw Doc roaring around the dirt racetrack. "You're amazing," he told the old pro, but Doc raced off. Lightning followed Doc to his office. "How could you quit at the top of your game?" Lightning asked. Doc showed Lightning a newspaper article about a crash he had been in. After he was repaired, Doc wanted to return to racing, but he had been replaced by a rookie. The next morning, the road was finished. But where was Lightning? Had he left for California? Oh, everyone felt sad. Just then, Lightning rolled up. He hadn't left. "I knew you wouldn't go without saying goodbye," Mater exclaimed. Lightning explained that he had a few things to do before leaving. He spent the rest of the day using every shop in town. He got new tyres, a new paint job, and fuel from Fillmore's. Lightning liked helping the town's small businesses. And Lightning liked teaming up with his new friends. "Is it getting dark out?" he called loudly when Sally drove up. Suddenly, Radiator Springs lit up like a glowing neon colours, and music played. It was time to cruise. As the townsfolk drove together in pairs, a helicopter searchlight swept over them. "We found Lightning McQueen!" boomed a voice from a loudspeaker. News vans swarmed into town. Reporters surrounded Lightning, shouting questions. He couldn't see Sally or reach his friends. Lightning's agent wanted Lightning to leave Radiator Springs straight away. Lightning and Sally gazed at each other. Neither of them knew what to say. "Good luck in California," Sally said at last. "I hope you find what you're looking for." Once Lightning had gone, Sally discovered that it was Doc who gave away Lightning's location. "It's best for everyone, Sally," Doc explained. Sally was shocked. "Or is it best for you?" In a packed stadium in California, the tiebreaker race for the Piston Cup started. But Lightning couldn't concentrate. He kept remembering his friends in Radiator Springs. Somehow, winning no longer seemed that important to Lightning. Just then, Doc's voice came over the radio. "I didn't come all this way to see you quit." Inspired by his friends, his new pit crew, Lightning raced around the track, closing the gap. Chuck tried his usual dirty tricks, but Lightning remembered what his friends had taught him. Lightning was in the lead. Chick and the King were fighting for second place. Suddenly, Chick rammed the veteran race car. The king hit a wall and flipped. A little later, back in Radiator Springs, lightning found Sally. They heard someone wildly yelling, "Woohoo!" It was Mater, taking his first helicopter ride. Sally smiled. Lightning had remembered his promise. She revved her engine before speeding off down the mountain, with Lightning close behind. It looked as if the rookie race car had found his new home. The end. Like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next story in the Disney Pixar Storybook Collection. Thanks.